how would you take someone who was a quadriplegic, who couldn't move, and help them facilitate the flow of qi and generate the qi through guided imagery when they're at home?
Okay. I cite here a case that's not my case, but my grandmaster that I learned from, who incidentally is a woman. Ha! It's great. I love these powerful women and learning from them, you know. But one of her students that I actually saw, it took about 14 months, paraplegic. She told him to imagine in his mind that he was doing the exercises that we just did, and he couldn't move. She said, just imagine that what the rest of the class is doing, you're doing. And after maybe 3 months, he started to move, started to make some motions. And at the end of 14 months, the guy was walking, actually out of his wheelchair. Bit by bit, and it grows exponentially. Everything just starts to multiply. And I couldn't believe it, but I saw it with my own eyes. Just doing this, not the energy work that I do, like without touching people, just from the exercises. So I urge you, please do these exercises. They're not just for fun here. This is a tool that'll change your life as we approach 2014. Now, some people that I work with on an energy projection, I can project the qi. They can feel it thousands of miles away, and I've seen on Skype working with people. I tell them, soon you're going to start feeling these, and I saw legs that had never moved for years start to jerk like that. One guy, he had a stroke for 7 years, his arm was stuck like this. On the phone, he said, oh my God, my arm is going up. and it's not because I'm some super guy, but I caused him to get into the silence, into knowing that he is a divine being. And it's not my power. It's the divine being that he connected with, which is himself. And now his arms like this, he's driving, he's having fun.
And there's lots of studies that talk about that as well. And one of the most important is your eyes. Being able to utilize, and if it's, is he paraplegic, you said, but able to use, quadriplegic, able to use his eyes? You can do so much with visual techniques. And if he's able to make the infinity sign with his eyes, and begin, this has been one of the exercises that you can utilize. All of us can do this to train and strengthen our eyes. This is take your thumbnails, take your fingers out in front of you, and then just follow your thumbnails, making a sideways 8 or an infinity sign. And if and reprogramming based on this. He doesn't need to have, he can just do it with his eyes, but each of us can reprogram all of our brain, all of our capabilities on a physical level with doing just this. I had a woman that walked. She was paraplegic, and she wound up, and she was in her 80s, and she started with this, and she started with her own personal mantra, which was, I'm getting healthier and healthier, and eventually she went in visualizing first, then using her eyes to make the motion. So being able to visualize, and then and she got tired. Like she'd used all of her body afterwards, going in and resting and making sure you have all the nutrients that a baby has, all the amino acids, all of the things that your nervous system is going to need to be able to use as well. And that's been my experience. We had a woman in our class, Terry Heibel, who is a registered nurse. She didn't have a lung for a number of years. Part of her lung was removed. She moved to this city. She was here visiting. She moved out here to work with me. Eventually, she went to Lionheart. She grew back her lung on x-ray. This is something that she's talked about. She went off 4 medications that she was on. Reverend Michael Beckwith, that he speaks about going in and transforming the energy. One of the things that I did as a medical doctor, whenever I was in the surgery ward, if you get to the root cause of it, disease spontaneously can disappear. And that's what happened a lot of times working-wise. And I'm sure you've had that experience as well.
Yes.
There's no order of difficulty to this either. It doesn't have to be a week, a month, a year. The energy that's present happens as soon as the person that's able to connect with that perfection that's already present.